Here are the crypto top headlines covered in this video. Here's when Bitcoin bull market could reach its peak if history repeats itself according to crypto analyst. Next, Pepe, Dogwifhat could lead next round of meme coin surge, traders say. Also, Ether ETFs could be bigger than Bitcoin ETFs, says VanEck. Welcome to Crypto Top Headlines, where there's no clickbait thumbnails or titles, and no speeches on my opinions, just bringing crypto's news to you. We are a new channel here on YouTube, and would greatly appreciate it if you would click on the like and subscribe buttons, as well as the notification bell. It does help support the channel, so thank you in advance for doing so. Now, on to these headlines. Our first top headline, here's when Bitcoin bull market could reach its peak if history repeats itself, according to crypto analyst. A closely followed analyst is predicting when Bitcoin will reach its peak in the ongoing bull market cycle. In a new video update on YouTube, pseudonymous analyst Rect Capital tells his 64,600 subscribers that based on historic precedents, Bitcoin could hit a current cycle peak in late 2024 or early 2025. If we were to look at history repeating, it comes down to a range of 266 days to 315 days, which means that we could peak in late November 2024 or late January 2025. However, the trader also says that the cycle may lengthen in duration since historically every cycle has gotten longer. We have to take into account that maybe there is some lengthening in the amount of days spent beyond the old all-time highs before the bull market peaking and that final time before entering a macro bear market. And it's really important to understand the lengthening here because this is a lengthening of 2 weeks from here, 2014, to here, 2018. 2022 compared to 2018 is a lengthening of just over a month. So are we lengthening by 2 weeks in this current cycle, or are we lengthening by just over a month? Or are we lengthening by just over a month plus 2 weeks? So that really does push this potential bull market peak, then maybe into February, maybe even into March, at the latest April. The trader also notes that the current cycle appears faster than the prior ones, having hit all-time high prices before the halving event when miners' rewards are cut in half. In prior cycles, the all-time high was hit after the halving event. He believes the pace may factor into when the peak is hit along with the cycle lasting longer than prior ones. So at least Q1 in 2025 is that moment where Bitcoin could bull market peak based on this chart. Bitcoin is trading for $73,233 at time of writing, up nearly 3% in the last 24 hours. Let me pause here for a moment. If you're getting value out of this video, please click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. Our next top headline, Pepe, Dogwifhat could lead next round of meme coin surge, traders say. The strongest sector growth this year has emerged from non-serious tokens, and the rally shows no signs of stopping. The Dogwifhat community raised $650,000 to display a meme on the Las Vegas Sphere, leading to a 48% surge in WIF prices. Other meme coins like Pepe, Dogecoin, and MOG also saw significant gains. The PolyFi sector, revolving around U.S. politicians, has seen a rise in tokens like Biden, misspelled for Joe Biden, and Trump, misspelled Donald Trump. Investment managers say the meme coin mania is likely to last longer due to low fees on platforms like Solana. A meme coin frenzy continues to grow within crypto circles as the sector rallied 12% on average in the past 24 hours, beating the broader crypto market. Prominent meme tokens of the Ethereum and Solana ecosystems started to gain momentum in late February as a way to bet on the growth of a blockchain. memes such as Floki and Shiba Inu jumped as much as 800% within a 7-day period amid volatility. Traders are now calling for the next round on the sector as the Dogwifhat community managed to raise over $650,000 to put a picture of the meme on the Las Vegas Sphere, an entertainment venue with a gigantic display panel that completely wraps around its dome. WIF prices rocketed 48% in the past 24 hours, data shows, the most among counterparts. Bonk jumped 18% following a Franklin Templeton report that mentioned the token's Pepe rose 14% to reach fresh lifetime highs. Dogecoin added 8%, while smaller tokens such as MOG were up as much as 35%. Polyfi tokens such as Biden and Trump, misspelled versions of Joe Biden and Donald Trump, jumped as much as 300%. Biden's run came as an automatically generated Coinbase article about buying the token went viral on X. Polyfi is a relatively new sector that revolves around U.S. politicians. Since early March, traders have been using such tokens to bet on the victory of the next president, as CoinDesk reported. Meanwhile, some investment managers pointed out the meme coin mania was likely to keep going as users were able to gamble small amounts of capital for cheap in hopes of substantially large profit. This mania is likely going to last longer than most people think, Tushar Jain, co-founder of Multicoin Capital, said on X. Past meme coin manias died because of Ethereum's fees. It doesn't make sense to punt around 100s when fees are also 100s. I expect Solana meme coin mania to last much longer due to low fees, Jane added. Solana's ecosystem has seen a meme coin frenzy since December, following rapid rises and success stories in WIF and Bonk. Still, the sector remains volatile and ripe for scams. Dex Tools data shows that hundreds of meme coin tokens, with themes ranging from frogs to Spider-Man, were issued by opportunistic developers in the past 24 hours. Most have dropped 100% after a few hours of going live, possibly representing thousands of dollars in losses for hopeful investors. Our next top headline, Ether ETFs could be bigger than Bitcoin ETFs, says VanEck. The issuer of the VanEck Bitcoin Trust this week dropped its management fee to $0 for a limited time in an attempt to attract more capital to that fund. With the deadline for a decision on the approval of a spot Ether ETF by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission approaching, industry experts are weighing the potential uptake of such a fund. Some say investing in an Ether ETF wouldn't make sense as such funds won't likely allow staking reward distribution. Investors, they argue, would thus be better off buying and staking their own Ether. But VanEck, the global investment firm whose Bitcoin Trust HODL is among the 10 spot Bitcoin ETFs that became available earlier this year, thinks an Ether ETF could attract huge demand. From a market perspective, part of me believes that the market size for a spot ETH ETF is potentially as big, if not bigger, than the spot Bitcoin ETFs, said VanEck portfolio manager Pranav Kanade. That would be a tall task given the more than $10 billion of net inflows into the spot BTC products in only about 2 months of availability. The world of investors who are looking for cash-producing assets is massive, and ETH obviously generates fees that goes to the token holders, explained Kanad. Even if you don't have an ETF that can offer staking as a part of it, it's still a cash-producing asset, so I think ETH could make more sense as an asset to more people than Bitcoin does. As the Ethereum uses a proof-of-stake consensus mechanism, holders of Ether can earn yield by staking or putting their tokens to work on the blockchain. On Coinbase, for instance, ETH stakers can earn about a 3% yield. Still, the odds of SEC approval of spot ETH products are far from assured. Analyst at Bloomberg recently lowered the chances of a regulatory green light, even without the staking aspect, to just 30%. For his part, Kanad places the odds at more like 50%. HODL fee cut. VanEck, which has over 68 ETFs under its umbrella, earlier this week temporarily cut the management fee on its Bitcoin trust from 0.2% to 0%. The 0% remains in place until March 2025, where the fund gets up to $1.5 billion in assets under management. Initially, we were one of the few that did not do a short-term waiver. We came out very aggressively at a low fee right from the start, and I had always thought that that was the right level to be at, but I think our thinking was that historically with ETF launches, the short-term waivers have not gone over that well, and frankly, they can be a little confusing and maybe have a lack of transparency as to how they work, said Kyle DeCruz, Director of Digital Assets Products at VanEck. But we listened to our investors, and it's clear that that was important to investors in the market, so we shifted, he continued. Relative, we'd like to do better, and part of that initiative is that fee waiver. The move so far is an apparent success. In the roughly 2 months from launch until the fee trimming this week, HODL had attracted about 4,300 Bitcoin and just shy of 300 million in assets under management. In the handful of days since, the fund has ballooned to more than 7,200 Bitcoin and $527 million in AUM. That level places HODL fifth in AUM among the 9 new spot Bitcoin ETFs, accepting Grayscale's GBTC, behind BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK 21 Shares, and Bitwise, and ahead of Invesco Galaxy, Franklin Templeton, Valkyrie, and WisdomTree. Currently, only about 1% of the firm's AUM is in crypto, but VanEck CEO Jan VanEck would like that number to be much larger, according to Kanad. Jan's aspirations is to have crypto to be 15% of the assets under management base one day in the future, he said, sooner rather than later. So this concludes our top headlines. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to click on the like and subscribe buttons, as well as the notification bell. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you all for watching Crypto Top Headlines, bringing crypto's news to you.